Welcome to Really Raha, the podcast for women who know they're way too powerful to be stuck in a 9-to-5. I'm Rahaf, multi-six-figure high-ticket sales coach, PhD student in global leadership and change, and sponsored skateboarder. I went from serving tables and chasing tips to mastering high-ticket sales and building income streams that don't require me to trade hours for dollars. Here we talk about the real path into remote sales, landing aligned offers, closing with confidence, regulating your nervous system under pressure, and building a skill set that pays you from anywhere. This isn't bro sales. This is psychology, power, and feminine precision. If you're here, it's because you feel it. Freedom isn't optional for you. It's inevitable. Let's get into it. Hello, welcome back to the Really Raha podcast. I have a special guest on our podcast today, and Abby, I will have you introduce yourself and say hi, but Abby is a Revenue Room student. She's actually a Radiance Room student, which we'll talk about in this episode too. And she is a trailblazer. When I first met Abby on our sales call, I saw the firecracker in her. I was like, you just know. And I want to take some time in this episode to just really talk about her journey, what you need to be a remote closer, what it's like to be in training, learning the skill set, mocking, being in community. So we're going to talk about Abby's journey, and I'm going to hand it over to you, Abby.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Abby. I'm so excited to be on the podcast and kind of share a little bit about my journey. I love Revenue Room. I love Radiance Room. I love Rahoff. This program has done so much more for me than just given me sales skills. So I'm really excited to talk about it today.
Yay. And I feel like there could be three types of people watching right now. There could be the woman who has kind of started hearing about high ticket sales. She's been curious about it. She's seeing it on her feed. And there's the woman who's been seeing it for a while now. She's this close to taking that next step and she's fired up. And then there's the woman who's already in it and just wants to keep getting better. Like she's got an understanding. So you, the listener, could be somewhere in that category. And yeah, my intention is to really capture the experience of a star student and talk about what Radiance Room is and how it's positioned towards the top 1% of students. So, Abby, I just first want to talk about, because we connected like barely a few months ago, and you're at the end of your training now. And when we first had our call, did you see this for you so fast?
I want to say yes and no. I knew about the high ticket sales space. Yes, it came up on my algorithm and stuff, but I had a friend who was an offer owner, and so I got to see kind of the behind the scenes of like what it's like to be on a sales call. I actually joined, it's like more mail selling that they do, so I actually joined one of the sales calls because he wanted to test out like if there was a like girl on the call, how that would change closing and stuff like that. So I really got to see like what it looks like. And I love to travel. I want freedom of location. I want freedom of my schedule. I want financial freedom just so that I can, we say this all the time, be where my feet are, be able to go see the world and live my life, but also like take my work with me. And I love talking to people. When I joined Revenue Room, I was at the end of my college, my senior year of college. And I was like, all right, like I need to wake up now. I need to get a 9-to-5. I need to like go into that. And I was just starting to get so much dread and anxiety that like my worst fear was coming true. It's time to like get in the hamster wheel. And I just knew the other people in my life, not that they weren't supportive, but they were kind of, what is this? Like, this isn't really realistic. It's not really possible. And I was like, listen, I'm 22 years old. I know that whatever I do, I'm going to succeed in. Like, I have that fire under me, and everything that I do, I've always just gone 100%. And like, the worst thing I could do is not even try. And like the worst thing for me would be like to take the safe route and then get to 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the road when I'm 80 years old looking back and being like, what if? what if I took that chance? Like, okay, what if I take this chance and I fall on my face and it doesn't work out? Whatever. I pick something else up. I find something else to do and I can move on from there. But like, yeah, I definitely didn't expect this to change my life the way that it did. But I always knew that I would, like, when I got on the call with you, I was like, I want to be the best. Like when I joined the program, I was like, I want to be the best in the room.
And I talk about how that's literally the only ingredient you need to succeed, especially in high ticket sales, is that fire, that commitment, that knowing. You're like, yes and no. Yes, I knew because you know your potential. And the listeners listening, it's like that ambitious woman who at your core, you know that you're meant for more. You know that you're not meant for the box of a 9 to 5. And all you need is that hunger. It's like, what do you have that they don't? Fire.
Yeah.
You're like, just full send, one foot in front of the other, and just saying like, hey, I want to be the best. It's like, that's all we need. And sometimes, and I see this a lot with like women I get on calls with and women that you're getting on calls with now too, which we'll talk about. But what have you noticed has been that biggest blocker with the women that you've spoken to, of them being so close, believing in their potential, being right there? What tends to get in the way?
It's that mindset shift. Honestly, we talk about it like sales is 80 to 90% mindset. And it's like how I've been mentioning that like Revenue Room has changed my life in so many ways other than sales. Yes, it's given me the skills that I need to talk to people, to go through the frameworks, to onboard and outreach if I want to get on an offer, all these amazing things. But it's like the real work is what happens when you have 5 no-shows, when you have 2 cancellations, when you join a call and you're super excited and then like you totally mess up and you feel like a complete idiot in front of people, and like getting on a call when it's a group of ladies and you're mocking and like there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 eyes on you, and like having that fear of messing up. And I've always been a perfectionist. I've always been like had that academic anxiety where like I need to have 100 or else like it doesn't matter, like a B is failing. And I think that's something that this room has really taught me, is that it's just so important to go for it. And then the work comes later. Like it's better to go for it and make a mistake and learn from it and grow rather than stay in analysis paralysis where you are. And I think like so many women that I talk to, they're just like so afraid. What if it doesn't work? What if I take the step and I fail? What if da 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 da? Like, what if? Who cares? Like, I don't personally think that failure is failure, because either way you're learning from it.
Yeah, it's a shift. It's a pivot. And even, just listening to you talk, we talk a lot about how when you get into the red pill world, when you get into high ticket sales, you have to release the finish line mentality. We have been taught that there's a destination, there's a finish line to life. Once I get here, then I'll be able to do this. But being in the red pill world where there are no bounds, you're betting on yourself, you get to do what you want and have the freedom to design your life around your work. It's constantly seeing that failure, it sounds like this destination point, like, oh, if I fail, oh, this right here. It's like, wait, that's the point. The point is to keep going and shifting and pivoting. We don't want to avoid failures. We don't want to avoid problems. That's only shifting us deeper into alignment. So that's like, I hear it all the time too. It's like the mindset. So if you had a different type of mindset around what failure is, you wouldn't see it as this thing that's blocking you. You'd be seeing it as this thing you run towards. So you're excited to get into the next chapter. Because if there's any destination, it's just the closing of one chapter into another chapter. And there are different seasons. And for you, like just taking this a little bit more tangibly, what helped you in that moment where you had a little bit of that mindset come up? Like, what was that fear for you? And how did you move forward anyway? Like, what did that look like tangibly for you?
Yeah. I mean, I think we talked about this in a call yesterday, and it really hit me of really just focusing on improving rather than proving. And I think that, because I decided to take this risk, because I decided to go my own way, I had the fear of disappointing my family and I guess having that outside world perception of failure. Like, oh,
Yeah.
she tried it and it didn't work. And I think that just really like having this community, like I guess I can't really speak for other people's communities because I've never joined another program, but I have joined other master classes and I have been talking to women who have joined other programs, and it is nothing like Revenue Room. It is nothing like the community that we have in here. I genuinely feel like I'm a face, I'm not a number. Like I can tell that Rahoff genuinely cares about our success, and it's not just that like this is her business. This is her life. This is her soul. I mean, like it spreads to all of the different areas of her life and it shows. And I think like oh, Rahoff, even you, like every time I felt like I made a mistake, not only just like being hard on myself and my program, but since I started taking calls for you, since I started talking to other clients, like I've messed up. I haven't passed through everything. Like I haven't necessarily had the right words to say. And now I just have this extra weight of like, oh my gosh, this isn't even just for me anymore. This is for someone else. And like, I want to help women succeed. So I would hate to be the reason that someone isn't able to open their mind up to live their life in a different way. So like having that being put on me. And then every time I come to you, you just meet it with such a level head, such like a positive attitude, and just having those snap back, realizing, oh, that's a negative limiting belief. I actually don't believe that anymore. Like we talked about this yesterday, but it takes so much time. I mean, depending on how old you are, I'm 22, but there are ladies who are 30, 40, 50 getting into high ticket sales. You have to unlearn 20, 30, 40, 50 years of one way that your brain has been programmed to think. Like it's not going to happen in a week. It's going to take months. It's going to take years to really get to be that Abby 2.0.
Oh, I mean, there's just so much there. I think the biggest blocker with the mindset, and like you said, with the community and the people we surround ourselves around, the rooms that we're in. To this day, I'm 3 years in, and I still, like, my brother still doesn't understand it. My mom is like, she gets it now. She's seen enough evidence, but to this day, I mean, I'm thankful for sales and teaching me communication because I'm able to bite my tongue now. And I'm just like, he just doesn't get it. And that's okay. Like he's in a very comfortable job. Like he loves it. He likes the 9 to 5. Like he has no issue with it. So therefore, that's his belief system. He has no idea like what I'm doing. He doesn't understand no matter how many times I explain it. But I had to surround myself with people who have this type of belief system. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to put one foot in front of the other. I talk a lot about my story with my coach, how I've had the same coach for 5 years, going on 6 years, because I know that I need to be immersed in a belief system that my 2.0 version has. And what you're doing is like you're immersing yourself in that. And it's so cool too that you know an off-roader, because it's like we are the 5 people that we spend the most time with. That is going to be our dominant energy. And in order to get into the red pill world and be able to have the flexibility and freedom, that's the decision, is how do I put myself in more rooms with people who are living that life so that I can have access to this frequency? Because think about it, if you're in a room with someone and just at the most basis like comparison, someone's having a bad day and they're complaining about it. You ever been in that room? You can feel that energy get sucked into it because that's the dominant energy. Now, imagine if that was energy of probably what you experienced, the listener, you being in your 9 to 5, whatever it is, serving tables, and you're around people who have, money scarcity limiting beliefs. They're talking about how they're broke and how they're poor. You're just immersed in that energy. Well, what's going to happen by association? That's going to be your dominant energy too. But imagine how you would feel if you were in a room with other people who empowered you, who said, instead of, oh, are you sure? Is that a scam? It's like, no, like we believe in you. If you're like put one foot in front of the other, you cannot like not get what you want. You cannot not succeed. Imagine how much further you would be if that was your dominant energy. And from what you said, Abby, it's like you immersed yourself in a dominant energy of 2.0 Abby. And that's why your timeline is collapsing so fast. And you honestly, like that's why I called you like a trailblazer earlier, because you shining so hard in Revenue Room is what led me to want to create Radiance Room. I'm like, wow, I want to create a room. I don't think I told you that.
No, that's so sweet. I'm like cry. Yeah, that's really special.
It reminded me of when I was in school and I felt like I want to bridge the gap between theory and practice and make it super applicable. So when I started hearing you mock over and over, I'm like, yep, this is someone that I would love to take my calls. And it's not even just like your understanding of the Radiance framework. It was how much you showed up, how, the questions you asked. You know, people ask me like, what do you look for? Like when you want to bring someone on or whatever, I'm looking for someone that I'm like, yep, I could see you taking my calls. Like I could see you connecting with my avatar. I could see you, even when you don't know what to do or don't know what to say, you find a way to lock in and do it. That's the skill set. And it inspired Radiance Room. And I brought you in and I brought in another student as well. And the two of you are in there and we're having more focused conversations. And my strategy calls, I created a calendar and these girls are taking my strategy calls. Everything they've practiced in Revenue Room, in the training, in the mocks, they're now in this next level where they're actually taking my real calls. And then we have meetings, the three of us, where we're studying those calls, tearing them apart, laughing about how if we put certain sound effects during certain parts. But this is like the focused energy of reviewing and real-time feedback. So we review one call, you've got a call the next day, we review that, you've already worked on what we talked about in the last call. So it's very similar. It's like Revenue Room. It's like, but the next level because of how small this room is. All that being said, I love how the one ingredient that you had is, you literally said it earlier, you're like, I just know I'm going to be the best. I just want to be the best. I cannot fail. If whatever my perception of failing is like, I keep going. But I know that was a lot. So I just wanted to pop back to you.
Yeah. Well, there is so much coming to mind. I think, first of all, I just want to say, like, as someone who's an overachiever, I have a tendency to get in my head. And like, as you were saying, like, we review calls. And when we first started doing that, oh my gosh, that was so difficult to watch me talk, to watch me mess up. But every time at the end of the call, I actually felt better and I learned so much more. And like, it's just been conditioning myself over the past like 3 months to just really sit and enjoy the messy, uncomfortable parts. I love now when you stretch me and you make me uncomfortable because that's when I learn the most. And just like finding a way to look at the positive rather than the negative. Like instead of, oh my gosh, I messed up, I should have done this. Like, wow, thank goodness that I learned how to do that for next time. There was something else that I want to say. Oops.
You know, it's being okay of being vulnerable, like being witnessed in your vulnerability. That's like when we said the mindset earlier of like what you need to be in sales. It's like, you got to be down for that. You got to be down for making mistakes. You got to be down for getting studied. You got to be down for the growth. You got to be down for the discomfort, which is why the sales call is really that initiation moment. Like I've said, it's literally like I'm Morpheus or whoever is like, they're Morpheus. You want the blue pill? You want to stay doing what you're doing and just stay in this loop? Or do you want to be uncomfortable, break this loop that you're in and change something so that you have different results? And to do that, it's going to be uncomfortable. And then that first decision is the momentum, is the ripple to just completely changing your definition of what discomfort means to you. Because you get to, it is fully your choice of how you want to interpret discomfort.
I kind of remembered what I was going to say before is it's supposed to be fun. Like the whole reason that we all took this journey was because we were fed up with the narrative that society, that our parents, that everybody else pushed on us, that you have to really struggle and it has to be super hard and you have to hate your life in order to be successful. Like, no, that's the reason we joined this. So don't bring that mentality into this, you know, like I've really had to condition myself to like, no, like this is fun games. Like, yes, you want to work hard, but like working hard doesn't necessarily mean like hating your life and doesn't mean like struggling. And like, what is your definition of success? Like, I think that obviously the point of this is to be financially free and to be able to use your skills and trade your skills for money rather than your time for money. But if money is your focus, then you're off track. Like, I'm doing this because I love to do this. I love talking to people, and it really makes me feel good to help other people and feel like I'm bringing them I'm helping change their mindset. That whatever you do, as long as you're passionate about it, the money will follow. And so just having trust in that. And so, like, it's not about the dollar amount that I'm making right now, because I just know that as long as I continue to improve rather than prove, like I said before, like, it's gonna follow. There's literally no option where it doesn't follow. So why am I gonna stress about that? Why am I gonna have anxiety about that when I can just have fun, mess up, go for it, try it? The people who don't make it to these top levels isn't because they aren't capable. It's because they gave up or they didn't try in the first place. Like, the people at these levels aren't necessarily 100% of the time the smartest, bestest people in the room. It's just the people that continued to push on.
Yeah. And that's the irony, is the moment right before you want to give up is that moment of the breakthrough, of becoming that next level. And so many people just give up right there. But the rule is just keep going. Anytime, like, giving up is not an option. Like, doubt does not exist in my brain. And that's the way I see it. And you talk about money, and we talk about how money is energy. Well, I think of, money is the byproduct. It's the byproduct of what we're talking about. And to have the level of certainty of, I think of it as kind of like the law of gravity. We don't question that when I jump, I land. Well, why are we questioning the law of energy, law of money, of how money, when I do what I love and I'm happy and I live every day aligned with my values and I'm in my feminine energy and I'm not pushing and I'm not making myself feel miserable, that the outcome of that is more energy flowing in. Like, that's the level of certainty that I have with money. And as a result, the byproduct, AKA landing after you jump, is the money flowing in. And even just seeing it with that level of certainty of like, oh, the money flows when this happens, when I keep going, when I stay aligned. And it just becomes a non-negotiable minimum standard.
Yeah. Like, to me, like, money is a tool. Like, I get to use money to improve. I get to use money to invest in the more things. Like, stale money doesn't make any money. If you hoard your money, if you have that scarcity mindset around money, it's not going to make money. Whether you're investing it in stocks, whether you're investing it in property, whether you're investing it in a program to give you the skills that you need. Like, so many girls are like, oh, I don't have the money. Like, I'll just take the time and like try to figure it out on my own. And then you don't know what you don't know. So then you kind of are like, oh, like you're disappointed because you don't know what you don't know. Why? I'm not going to say that it's not possible, because anything is possible. Sure, it's possible that you put in 6 months, a year, 2 years worth of work to get to a level where you kind of know what's going on, and you might be able to start outreaching yourself and get success in the space. Why would you not cut the time? I was going to say in half, but in like a quarter.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not just make that investment to learn the skills, have somebody tell you what to do in 3 to 4 months, and then go from there? Because in comparison, the return on investment is like what you invested is pennies.
Yeah. And that's why it comes down to, like we talk about in Revenue Room, you have to experience a certain amount of present tension to want to change. Like, you, the listener, only you know when you've had enough. For you, Abby, you graduated college, you were getting ready to be done. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm about to be a cog in the wheel. Like, I'm just going to be part of the system in this 9 to 5. And you're like, nope, not happening. I have bigger dreams. I want to travel. I want to take my laptop with me where I go. I do not want to be miserable and just take my degree and go in this easy little box. It's like, but we have to have a certain level of that I'm done moment to be like, nope, my time, my energy is more valuable than anything I invest with money into learning a skill set so that I can interrupt the current pattern I'm in. And unfortunately, so many women are just complacent. I had a call with a woman the other day, and she said, I feel like I'm Squidward. I feel like every day I'm operating like with Squidward energy of just like complacency, mad. Like, you guys know Squidward energy. I don't even have to say it. But she's like, I just, but she's like, my 2.0 self is SpongeBob. Like, what does SpongeBob say? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Like, just constantly optimistic and not even like positive all the time. It's like, no, there are going to be hard days. Like, we have hard days. Like, that's the whole point. But to have the skill set of not just the sales, but the nervous system techniques, the identity mindset techniques to shift back to baseline faster and faster, that's what you need the room for. Because if we don't know what we don't know, then how are we going to know how to not be a third person bias in our brain? Like, we are biased to our own limiting beliefs until someone calls it out. So to be that SpongeBob, only you know when you've had enough of being Squidward.
Yeah. Yeah. And I reminds me back to conversations that I have with women. And so many times I'll ask them like, why are you doing this? Like, what's the goal? And it's like, oh, well, I just want to get by. Like, oh, like, I just want to not be living paycheck to paycheck. But it's like, have higher standards for yourself. No, like, what is it that you want? Like what gives you, what's your dream life? Like, let's say that we can give that to you. What does that look like? And then is that worth more? Is losing that worth more than investing in yourself?
I love that you said losing that, because it's not even just gaining that, it's losing that, which is so powerful. Because if you know this 2.0 life is the life that you were meant to live, because all of us on this earth have the capability of living that life. Like, we've been given the gifts, we've been given the opportunities, we've been given just everything, like, beyond us, faith, energy, God, universe. That is who we are at our core. And to lose the potential of that, that's the present tension. Not, oh, I could have that. It's like, no, that's yours right now. And by you prioritizing these things, you're missing out on that. Oof, I just got chills.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, that's why I do this. That's why I do this. Honestly, like, that was another thing of my fear and just the dread of being another cog in the wheel of going into the 9-to-5 is I honestly didn't think that there was a job out there for me that I would be able to be passionate about. Some people go to school, they want to help people, they want to be a doctor, that gives them that fire, whatever. They really want to be a lawyer, that gives them that fire, whatever. I didn't feel that way towards a job. I wanted to travel. I'm artistic. I like to paint. I like to do stuff like that. And that can make you money for sure, but not quite off the bat in the same way unless you have some business skills with it. That's not something that's going to really give you that high achieving life if that's what you feel that you desire. And so to find this space where I've found that I care about Revenue Room. My values align with Revenue Room. I believe in what Rahoff is doing. I think so many people get so nervous about sales being like scammy or like da da da. I know for 100% fact that I'm helping people. I believe in this because I did it myself. And I think that's why, like, I talk to girls and they're like, oh, like, I just want to get started. Like, I don't really need the training. Like, I don't want to get started. And Rahoff talks about this, and I've understood this more as I've gone through it, of like, offer owners want to know that you're going to be invested in yourself, that you're invested in them, that you're invested in what they're selling, because the person on the other end can sniff out in a heartbeat if you don't actually believe what it is that you're doing. If you don't actually believe in what it is that you're selling, nobody's going to buy from you.
So good. So good. Walk me through, like, what your 3 months so far, like nearly 3 months, just about, like, what that time in Revenue Room has been like for you. What has that A to Z journey so far been for you to this present day right now from when you started? What do you do?
Wow.
What does your day-to-day look like? What are you learning?
Yeah. So when I first joined Revenue Room, like I mentioned, I was in college. So I was a full-time student. I was taking classes and I was balancing showing up to calls, kind of getting plugged in here. I was so close to the end of my college. So I was like so frustrated because I could taste it. But it was like I was still kind of stuck in it. And then I graduated, and I would say around graduation, that was like probably 1 month into the program, the first couple weeks. And I think that after, like, there is going to come a point after the first time that you invest that you really question, what did I just do? What is it that I just did? And is this space for me? And this feels like a lot, and I'm super overwhelmed. And that's why it's so important to have community and to have a place that you feel that you're cared about, and you have an environment where people are celebrating their wins, big or small, and cheering other people on, because that's what pulls you out of that first initial thing. Because when you invest in the program, you're in this state of like, this is possible, let's go, da 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 da. And then you're going through it, but the old way of thinking kind of comes back. You're the last, like we said, 20, 30, 40 years of your life of neural pathways that have been built in your brain are not going to be completely shifted in one day because you just decided to invest in yourself. So you kind of have that moment, and as long as you can like come back from that and come back and be like, nope, I don't believe you, this is where I am, then you learn the skills, you build the new neural pathways in your brain that are like, oh no, like this is where I belong. And you learn how to go through like the coping mechanisms of how to deal with that and how to snap back. So any sort of like low points that you have or negative limiting self-beliefs that you have in the future aren't quite the same as like that first time that it happens, because you now have the skills that have taught you how to navigate that. And you're like, no, that's literally just not my brain anymore. That's not the way that I think anymore. So that kind of happened for me. And I really questioned. I was like, is this the space for me? I felt like I was falling behind. I hopped on a call with Raha. She kind of reached out to me. And then when it was on paper, I was like, oh, I'm not behind at all. This is just my perfectionist mentality. I'm not going above and beyond the way that I thought I would be. And so then I kind of was like, no, this is meant for me. I am where I'm supposed to be. This is the room for me. And from there, I literally, everything I put into Revenue Room, everything I put into now Radiance Room, everything I put into Raha and this company, because I believe in it. I don't have a job. I don't have anything outside of this, because I know that this is what's going to make it. And like success for me is even just seeing the growth week by week and month by month, because we grow so quickly in this program. Like I've seen it from every single girl that showed up from the first week to whatever week they're on. Like that to me is success. That is why I did this. That it's just leaked into every area of my life. And again, because I know that I'm taking the proper steps and I am growing at such a fast pace, it's only a matter of time before the physical world catches up to that and the money starts flowing in.
Oh my God, so good. And just to go like a layer deeper, how externally, like what was it like for you showing up to the calls and gaining the skill set?
Yeah. The first call was a little nerve-wracking, you're joining this new program, you're not really sure like, oh, how are these ladies going to perceive me and this and that, and how does it work? And realizing that like that's normal. You've never done this before. It's not going to be perfect on your first try. You've never done this before. And I went through my first mock and I was like, wait, that was fun. That was not bad at all. I was like, what was I so worried about? And just like even watching, like I just am somebody who loves constructive criticism. I want to be better. Please tell me what I can improve upon, and anything in my life. If I make a mistake, whether it's business, personal, whatever, like I truly believe that the whole point of our human existence is to grow and to become better people. So like you're doing me a disservice if you don't tell me what it is that I can improve upon. So just like I'm really hungry for the feedback, like because I want to nail it. I want to be good. So the more that I practice, the more like confidence I've gotten, even when it doesn't, even when I don't have a perfect mock, or even when I stop a little bit more than I used to, even if I'm like having a day where it just like seems a little bit harder and I felt like I was on a roll, because that's again where the stretching and where the growth comes in. And I love hopping on the calls. I love our community is like a sisterhood. So I love even just connecting with the girls outside of our group calls and just like doing one-on-ones or like just a group of 3 of us and just like not only mocking, but then that's where we kind of get to talk about, you know, each other's lives and like, oh, what are you struggling with? What am I struggling with? And like just being able to encourage each other on like a more personal level as well. It's just, I love being here. I don't want to leave ever.
And now, like, talk to us about how, like, where you are right now. Like, after you mocked and you did all that, now you're taking actual calls. So what's that
Yeah.
been like?
Okay. Yeah. Equally terrifying and exciting. It's thrilling. It's honestly like so different from even just mocking in the room. Which some people tell me that like when they're learning, they strictly mock with AI, and I could not imagine going from AI straight to
No.
taking people on a call. I would cry on the call, I think. Like I would be like, "Oh my gosh, like you need that human interaction at least." But honestly, like I love it. I love like it's like wow, like all of my hard work is paying off. When Rahav asked me to be in Radiant's room, that she was like launching Radiant's room and kind of told me about it, I partly was just like half thrilled, over the moon, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is so exciting, da da da. But then the other half of me was like, no, Abby, you did know this. You knew this was gonna happen. Like you knew like there was no possible way where like I just didn't make it to the top. Like I have that hunger and that drive, and I knew that even if it wasn't in revenue room, that it would be another offer that I made it on, and that I would just absolutely soar and succeed in that. And I love your offer because I'm the target avatar, because I understand, and because I truly believe in it. And so it probably hurts me more than the other person on the phone when I'm not able to help them quite realize the gravity of their limiting belief. When their blue pill glasses are just glued on so hard that it's so difficult for them to take it off. Like, program aside, course aside, genuinely just like, girl, stand up. like you have this whole world that is unlocked, untouched, that is completely at your fingertips. And I want to see you succeed. I've always been a girl's girl. I love being in a woman's space, and just like that's why I do this. I love being able to encourage people. I love being able to be that stepping stone to help them unlock their potential. I could talk about it forever and ever. I love it.
And you know, if you talking to this girl right now, like she's listening and she's on the fence, she's like, oh my God, like I want to do this, I'm so close, like I want to just like hear about revenue room, but then the mindset gets in the way. Like, what would you say to her right here, right now?
Well, my first thought is just do it. That's the first thing in my head, is just do it. But of course you hear so many people that say like, just do it, just go for it. And I think I would ask yourself a few questions. Do you believe in yourself? And if not, why? Because you should. And is the cost of your dream life worth losing because you're getting in your own way?
It really is that simple. And I'm going to put in the show notes, like if you want to DM me and even like get on a call with Abby or Raya to just hear about her story and have her help you with this plan of figuring out what your next steps are. Program aside, it's not a sales call, it's a strategy call. And I just had, what Radiance Room is I'm having Abby and the other student, Raya, taking these calls. And I mean, it's just a perfect opportunity to just talk to Abby. Like, let her melt your mind. Let her help you see this whole other world. So I'll drop in the show notes. DM me on @RadiantRahoff. Like, we'll set you up with a meeting. And I mean, I honestly don't think I could have said that better than you. And we could literally keep talking.
I know. Have me on the next episode. Let's have this be like monthly, bi-monthly. I'll
I
pop
know.
on.
Right? But I mean, let me ask you, do you feel like, is there anything else that you want to say? Anything else still coming up before we say goodbye?
Wow. I mean, like, I really could just talk about this all day. There's a few things in my life that I could just go on and on and on and on about. And I just think it's so special. Like Rahoff said, like, I would love to talk to you on a call. I would really just love to talk to you, see where you're at, see how we can help you, see how we can help you help yourself. I think actually before, I will say this, before I joined Radiance Room, before Rahoff talked to me about Radiance Room, I had a friend who came to me and said that somebody had outreached her on DMs of some sort of, she's into fitness and she's a fitness coach. And they kind of were like, have you ever thought about like building your brand, like kind of stuff like that? And she had never thought about it before. She was kind of in a tight spot financially. So she was like, I don't know how I feel about this, whatever. And I'm like, girl, there's one thing I've learned is that it is so worth it to invest in yourself. And I was like, let me just mock with you. Let me just go through. I'll pretend that I'm an offer owner for them. I'll pretend that like, this is what a sales call would look like because they want to get her on a call. This is what it would look like. So maybe you know what questions you want to ask them, this and that. And we went through and she started crying and she actually realized what her genuine objection was. And she started crying and she was very cold to actually going through with hopping on a call with them, whatever. Started crying and kind of took the night to sleep on it. And I think it was like 2 days later, 2 or 3 days later, I got a text from her and she was like, I took a call and I bought the program. And just to be able to watch my friend succeed, it's not even necessarily, she's not learning to be like a high ticket sales closer, but just to invest in a course, in a high ticket course, to give her the skills that she needs to grow her business, to become that 2.0 version of herself, just made me feel so amazing. I was like, wow, I can change people's lives. That is why I do this. I was like, that has to be my first testimonial, even though I made zero commission, even though it had nothing to do with what I was doing now. It gave me the confidence that I needed to know that I am in the right room. This is what I'm meant to do. And it gave me a passion for this beyond myself, beyond just, oh, I want this so that I can build my life this way. It gave me that fire of, no, like, I want to do this because I want to help other people make their life that way. So it's really that deep.
And it has to be that deep. And also, too, it's like the confidence that you help your friend with and using the Radiance framework. And this is why I love Radiance, because Radiance is all about focusing on asking questions and looking inward and understanding what the genuine objection is, which is what's an objection, a limiting belief. Is like you helped your friend go those layers deep so that she could identify what that limiting belief was that was keeping her at her current ceiling. And we could flow into like a whole nother episode, but
I know.
This is why I love like an NLP framework like Radiance, because NLP is asking those questions, is positioning the cost of losing your dream life, like all of that into play it's what captures an authentic human conversation, which is why another byproduct of sales that you're saying is, oh my God, like the communication with the other parts of my life have shifted. It goes beyond sales. You just learn how to be a better human that is curious, that knows what questions to ask, that knows where you're taking someone. So I love that you brought in like your internal and the external skill set of what you learned to impact your friend. So I'll drop that link in the show notes. I'll also drop a link if you're like, Rahoff, I'm ready. Like, I want to get on a call with you. I want to know what my next steps are. Like, I want that hungry woman that's like Abby energy, because your success is inevitable. with that energy. I mean, look at Abby. Like Abby is like, everything she said on this podcast is like, if you just have that hunger, your results are like this. There's no exception. So I'll put a link for a booking call with me, and then you'll see, just DM me on Instagram to hop on a call with Abby or Raya. And then as always, like my DMs are open for you. If anything shifted for you in this episode, if you had breakthroughs, light bulbs, questions, my DMs are open for you. But it's been so lovely having you on here, Abby.
Thank you, Raha. And please, guys, if you're even just have a little inkling, like you don't even have to go all the way. Just get on a call, figure it out. Like if you're like, I don't know what I don't know, great. Take some steps to learn what you don't know and then reevaluate from there.
That's where it starts.
You said on one of your podcast episodes, the opposite of action isn't inaction, it's delay. And that's something I say all the time. So I'll bring that back to this episode as well.
Because we think, oh, it's just, I'm not taking action. It's like, no, it's just delay. You're just in stagnant energy. So break that loop. We're here to help you. Yay. All right. Well, I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.
If this episode resonated with you, if something clicked, stretched you, or made you see what's possible, share it and tag me on Instagram at Radiant Rahaf so I can hype you up properly. And if you haven't already, subscribe and leave a 5-star review so more women who are ready to step into high-ticket sales and reclaim their freedom can find this space. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited for you already. See you next Tuesday.